Hello and welcome to What the Hey, where I'm your regular host of What the Hey, and today, What the Hey, I am once again answering yet another question. When I go to my notebook of knowledge, I see the question of, why the hey don't I have more views? Now this question was asked by SuperSaiyan64, so hello to you and thank you very much for the question. So the main issue that this question is addressing is the fact that some channels, despite the amount of energy and effort that they put into their videos, feel as though they're not getting the recognition that they deserve. So for the first part of this video, I'll be listing possible issues that could affect a video's viewer count, and then towards the end I'll list ways to improve in general. Please take all these points with a grain of salt because some of them don't apply to certain channels, as I'll go into it. But in general, these are things that I found for certain channels, so here we go. So the first main issue that I usually notice with videos that tend to have lower views would be the quality of the content, whether that's with audio or visuals. Now this point is kind of up to debate because some people don't have the finances to invest in a fancy microphone or a fancy webcam, so it's totally optional. It's not like to be on YouTube you have to have a super fancy camera that costs thousands of dollars, so if this is something you can't avoid, that's technically okay. But in general, I definitely feel like it's harder to watch and support a video if like the audio peaks a bunch, or you can't even hear what's being said in the video, or you can't even see the video in general. So this is just something to consider. Another possible issue could be the fact that your video doesn't have a specific title, because usually, for the most part, people get onto YouTube to find a specific video. So if your video's title is literally like the file name, probably no one's going to look at it. So if your content is about something that is specific, put that in the title because that definitely helps people get to it. Not being engaged with viewers or audience in general in a channel can cause for lower views, because if someone doesn't feel like they're able to kind of talk to the person who created a video, they're not going to come back and support the channel in general, so that could also be an issue. An inconsistent upload schedule can sometimes be hard for certain viewers. Some people don't necessarily care, but some people like to have a solid schedule where they're going to know you're going to upload a video on a certain day or at a certain time. If you're a channel that just uploads videos whenever they're ready or whenever you want, that's okay. It just may be harder for some viewers to come back if they don't even know when your next upload's going to be. Negative or dramatized content is something that some viewers in general just don't find appealing. Of course, this isn't necessarily the case because there are channels on YouTube that literally thrive off of drama, whether that's in real life or on YouTube. The first one that comes to my mind would be Drama Alert. Like, the whole reason that channel's famous and a lot of people go to it is for the drama aspect. So for this point, it sometimes works for certain channels, but if you're not someone who specializes in spreading drama or you don't really know what to do with that kind of stuff, I would suggest not getting into it because it can also lead to drama with your own channel. Just in general, some viewers don't find this kind of stuff appealing. The next possible issue could be unappealing thumbnails in general. Thumbnails for a video are most likely the first thing a viewer is going to see for a piece of content in general. Some content creators literally create a specific type of thumbnail that they make for all of their content. One of the people that comes to my mind would be Sniper Wolf. Like, it pretty much is the same thumbnail. It may be a little bit different, but you recognize it. So sometimes it works to have something very simplistic. You just kind of have to be careful with how it looks. Not being original is something I feel like is very hard to kind of accomplish on YouTube because there's pretty much a YouTube channel for pretty much everything. However, if you're a cooking channel on YouTube, you just somehow have to find a way to make your content different, because if it's not different from another channel, why would someone look at your content? So not being original can be an issue for some channels. Sometimes it's just generally hard to make original stuff when there's so many videos on the platform, but that can be an issue. This next issue is pretty much relevant to this video, to me, and pretty much any channel on YouTube, and it is giving advice early in the YouTube game. Which, of course, this issue isn't necessarily relevant to YouTubers who are very successful and to have been on the platform for a long time. which of course it's definitely easier for YouTubers who have been on the platform and are successful to actually give advice. So I definitely suggest, if you're someone who hasn't been either of those, to kind of hold back from that unless someone's genuinely interested in your particular advice. The last kind of trending issue that I see with some YouTube channels and YouTube videos in general would be no commitment, which sometimes it's definitely hard to keep up with certain content if you're not into it, but in general it's kind of upsetting and kind of just sad to see like a channel that has a lot of good videos and then their newest one is like one that has a title that says like I'm quitting, and then the video is like 30 seconds where it's a person saying, oh, I'm done with my channel because I'm not seeing the money or the stuff that I thought I would get, I'm just done with YouTube. Like that kind of stuff is both upsetting and it's just kind of like, that's a little embarrassing to see. Which again, sometimes it's hard to keep up with a certain content if you're not passionate about it, but if you look at every successful YouTuber, the whole reason they're pretty much successful is because they've kept up with their channel or they've just tried to improve on what they've been doing. So trying to keep some commitment to your channel definitely helps. So now for this section of the video, I'm going to be listing ways that you can improve the views for both your channel and your videos in general. Once again, take all of this with a grain of salt because sometimes this advice isn't even relevant to certain channels. So if it seems like it would help you, there you go. So one of the big things that I feel like a lot of successful channels do is typically just engage with their audience, whether that's replying to certain comments or setting up different social media accounts to either like ask questions or like play games with their viewers. I feel like that definitely helps connect the viewer in some way to the creator of a channel. Which of course it's definitely okay to not have any attachment or have any like need to connect with a person behind a YouTube channel, but sometimes that just makes people more comfortable with the content that they're viewing if they know the person to a degree that's making it. Creative video titles, thumbnails, and channel layout can definitely help with more of the artistic side to a channel, which of course you can definitely pay someone to help you out with that, especially people who kind of know how to make stuff look more appealing visually. But if you're able to kind of style and edit your channel and your videos in a way that kind of convey who you are as the creator of content, that can make people return to like raise the viewer count. If you're someone who likes to stay consistent, targeting a specific type of content within certain limits can be very helpful. Some people just want to watch YouTube channels that are about cooking, or they want to watch videos that are about, I don't know, like Ben 10 or something. So if you are someone who knows a specific type of content that you'd like to make, go for it. I definitely suggest diversifying it even within that specific type of content, but people will go to stuff that they enjoy. So if you have a specific thing you enjoy and you want to make a bunch of it, people will probably check it out. Now, collaboration is something that content creators like to do in order to either just like hang out with a content creator that they enjoy or bring over their audience to another content creator's audience. And sometimes the hope is that that other audience will bring more viewers for that other channel, which is something a lot of channels look for. Now, this way of improvement isn't necessarily necessary because some people don't want to bring other channels onto their channel to possibly risk future drama that could or could not happen, or they're just someone who wants to stick to being the main person of their channel. So if you don't want to collab, that's up to you. Another possible way to promote channel and video viewership could be promoting your channel and content in general through social media. I've literally seen Twitter accounts where if you like at the Twitter account, they'll like retweet your YouTube video or like promote your channel just because you decided to shout them out. So there's multiple different ways to do it. Also, there's a really great feature on YouTube where you can link your different social medias so people can check those out as well. So it kind of works in like a full circle. But sometimes people only operate on like Instagram or Twitter. So if they see that you have a YouTube on that social media account, they may support your channel on YouTube despite the fact that they only usually use Instagram. Now, this way to improve kind of relies on a little bit of research, because if you go to like YouTube Studio and go to your analytics section, if you have a YouTube channel, you can see when most viewers check out your video. So if you'd like to upload your videos around then, you may or may not get more views on those videos. which sometimes I notice certain YouTube channels will only release content at a certain time on a given day. And there actually is, if you're someone who owns a YouTube channel, a feature where you can schedule your videos. So if you see that people view your videos at a certain time, you can upload them at that time by scheduling. Now this kind of goes back to a point I made earlier, but possibly upgrading your recording and editing equipment can definitely help for people who do enjoy to see high quality in terms of editing, audio, and just visual content. I mean, sometimes for certain content, it definitely helps to have better visuals and frame rate, especially like for gaming channels or maybe art videos to see stuff clearly, or maybe makeup videos, because people really want to see the details. So sometimes it does help out. And then my final suggestion to possibly improving channel viewership and viewership in general would be having like an internet personality, which some content creators don't even create their internet personality until after they obtain a following. So if you'd want to hold back on that because some people may consider it to be cringy, that's up to you. But some viewers are just naturally attracted to some personalities, so that's your choice. But in general, there's lots of different ways to improve and run and maintain a YouTube channel. I would definitely say the biggest and most important way to do it is to do it how you want to. You'll never know how a certain type of content will work until you put it out there, and then you'll see what the results are, and then you can either run with it or drop an idea and try something else. I think the biggest thing in general would be to record and upload videos that you actually enjoy and have fun with, because viewers can really tell when a content creator isn't enjoying what they do, so just do what you want to do. But that's essentially the answer to the question, so if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll get to working on them as soon as I can, so thank you very much for watching. Bye!